Moderna, they were all mRNA-based vaccines, okay, which we have not yet tried out here in India. So this is India's first DNA-based vaccine, and it is the first of its kind. And the only thing is that it needs 3 doses at 0, 28, and 56 days, I believe. So that is one thing. And there are 2 other vaccines which are under trial, known as Covovax and Corbevax. Covovax is being manufactured by Serum Institute of India, which has also come out with Covishield. And that is also under trial for kids, I think, above the age of 5 years. And Corbevax is for kids above the age of between the ages of 7 to 11 years. So these are still under trial, though they have not been approved for use yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So ma'am, so do you think these vaccines have any side effects on children? And if they have, what should parents or how should they deal with these side effects?
Yes, definitely, Namrata. You like any vaccine that a child gets, these shots also have local side effects like pain in the area over which it is injected, pain in the arm, redness. There could be some swelling, there could be some fever, headache, fatigue, body ache. So these are possible, definitely. But these are very mild, okay? So these adverse effects being mild, they usually are seen to disappear by 2 to 3 days. And parents need not fret over these. In fact, the company itself, Bharat Biotech, has gone on record to say that you are not to routinely hand over paracetamol to the parents to be given to these kids, because you want some kind of a reaction to happen in the body after a vaccine is injected. So that it basically means that the immune system has been stimulated and some kind of activity is taking place in the body towards protection.
Right.
So if you suppress that, it can actually make everything worthless.
Okay.
So parents need not worry, and most pediatricians and the company itself has said that please try cold compresses, ice packs initially, and if these don't work, only then on the advice of a pediatrician you may use low doses of paracetamol.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So ma'am, even after taking the COVID vaccine, do you think the mandatory flu vaccines, should they be taken by children?
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. Because flu has been here forever, we know. And influenza vaccines are there, they're very safe. Parents know them for donkey's years now. They've been around for a long time. And if a child, because in the COVID-19 days at least, we don't want a child to suffer from both flu and COVID-19, because it's possible. A child could suffer from both. And it will only compound the illness and compound the difficulties, Why do you want that? When you have a safe and effective vaccine that is known for so many years, there's no reason why a child should not get a flu shot. And in fact, all the health regulatory bodies have advised that children be vaccinated against the flu vaccine, even simultaneously as they are getting the COVID-19 vaccine. It could be given on the same arm, maybe at a distance of 1 inch from each other, or preferably on separate arms. Or if you're not taking them simultaneously, because some kids may not be so needle friendly, they may not like it. So you could give it at a interval of 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So ma'am, now there has been talks about COVID, with the downfall of the trend and everything, schools reopening.
Yeah.
So ma'am, what advice or how safe would it be for children to go back to schools, and what advice or what kind of things that parents should do to protect, or precautionary things that they can do to protect their children when they are going to school?
Okay.
When they will resume school?
Yeah, right. So yeah, I have also been hearing something about schools opening up sometime mid-February, maybe late February, something like that. So I believe schools should reopen. The main reason being that till date, in so many studies done all over the world, in Europe, in US, even in India, though India is not very great at coming out with studies and recording and documenting stuff, but there have been studies in bits and pieces here and there. Everywhere they have gone on to very emphatically say that schools as such are not a a hub of spread of COVID-19, and children are definitely till now not the main source of transmission of COVID-19 in the community. Okay, the only thing is that if you leave children unvaccinated, unvaccinated kids could become spreaders to the elders in their family, because children are often a kind of bridge between the young adults, that is their parents, and their grandparents. So they could very well be carrying the infection from their parents asymptomatically and giving it to their grandparents, who are very vulnerable, elderly people. So that is the danger. That is one of the main reasons why we should get kids vaccinated. And so because schools have not been seen as a main center of transmission of COVID-19, that is one of the reasons. And the other interesting thing is that I'll tell you, even though kids have been kept at home, right, in the last 2 years, kids have been mostly home. It's only in spurts that we have sent our children to school. But it has been seen that in spite of keeping our children so-called protected at home during the lockdowns, at least the seropositivity, the prevalence of seropositivity in children in our community, even in India, is above 60%. What does that mean? It means that even if we have kept them at home, we have not done a good job of protecting them. Right. They have still been exposed to the virus, right? So they are going to get exposed to the virus anyway. So why not send them to school, teaching them proper COVID appropriate behavior and vaccinating them wherever possible? Right. Why not? So I would say that if schools were to decide to start, they should do it at the earliest, looking at everything, the physical, the mental health, the emotional health issues of kids, and the protection to the kids should come from all levels, from the school authorities, from the parents and the kids themselves. So if you talk about the school and the school authorities, what they can do is they can prevent overcrowding. Maybe they can come, like schools have been doing these, they space out, right? They ask children to come maybe 3 days a week. So they have some children, 50% class strength. So that is what they have been doing. And also, wearing a mask should be made mandatory. The teacher also must wear a mask, because it's been seen that if teachers don't wear masks, they can infect the whole classroom. So it's important that the teacher wears a mask. And also at tiffin times, when masks are going to come down, children are going to eat, it should be taken into notice that such times should not be in closed classrooms. If possible, children should be taken out in open spaces where there is proper ventilation, so that the viral load is less. Right. So that is one of the things. And of course, physical distancing will have to be emphasized. Okay, so the school has to do all these things, and also of course the school can make it mandatory for children to isolate themselves at home should they get any common cold-like symptoms, because often it becomes very difficult to distinguish between mild COVID-19 and a common cold. Right. So that is what the school can do. The parents can, of course, keep talking to their children, reinforcing COVID-appropriate behavior, lead by example, like I said, and the parents should themselves get vaccinated, please. We need 100% vaccination of the adults now. We are yet to achieve that. Right. I think we have achieved around 90% of vaccination of the adults with the first dose, 90%, and only 62% are fully vaccinated. So we're still a long way to go. So that is the thing. Parents can do that. And of course, parents should also keep back the children who are not feeling well. Okay, let them stay back for 4 to 5 days, and then kids can go. And get them tested as soon as they see, because often it's difficult to make out. So prompt testing is also important. One of the reasons why less kids are detected is children are tested less. Right. You will find most parents objecting to RT-PCR. Right. Or to RAT. We have seen that. We see it all the time in our OPD practice. The moment we utter RT-PCR, the parents will immediately, they'll screw up their noses and they'll say, কৰিব লাগিব নেকি ইমান ভয় খায় ইমান বেয়া পায় they don't like. Okay, but then it's just uncomfortable, right? It's not life threatening. Right. We do so many uncomfortable things, but it's important to document something like a COVID-19 infection, because there are some what will I say, fallouts. There are some post-COVID complications one needs to be aware of in children. That is why you need to document it. So prompt testing and vigilance on part of the parents. If the schools can do what I said just now, and the children themselves, kids are actually smarter than their parents.
I think so.
These days I have seen that kids are very particular, very rigorous with their hand sanitization. They wear their masks very diligently. I have very small kids. Actually, it's said that below 2 years, there is no need to wear masks, you know. And recently, the government of India came out with a directive saying that below 5 years, kids don't need to wear masks. But I have kids as young as 15, 16 months coming to me wearing masks. If you lower their mask, they'll absolutely scream. So, meaning that they have grown used to it. I mean, since their birth, they have been seeing people wearing masks. They're adapting well, much better than adults who are likely to, you know, flout norms and do whatever they want. So, these 3 levels, and I believe as a community, see, it's interesting. We are not stopping weddings. Okay? We are not stopping people from going to restaurants. We've even allowed cinema halls. People gather at pubs. Okay? And there are get-togethers and parties going on. Then why not schools?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. What's the problem with schools? Yeah. What is it with schools? I mean, you're protecting your children, you aren't protecting your children, because you're anyway, if you're not getting vaccinated yourself, if you're exposing yourself to such overcrowding situations, you're anyway coming back home to your kids. And if you think just washing your hands is going to see that you're not spreading the virus, you're wrong. So you might as well let your kids go to school and teach them the right way to behave in school and take it from there.
Right.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, there is also need for, like, you know, correct education for parents as well.
Absolutely.
On vaccinations
Absolutely.
and COVID as well.
Yes.
Because like, you know, there are too many information available.
Yes.
So, like, you know, people should also, I think, like, you know, for, like, you know, should take direct advice from doctors.
Yes, not listen to 10 other people. You know, there are people who say that, oh my God, I have developed this after a COVID vaccination. My diabetes has come up after COVID vaccination. This has come up after COVID. These are all just anecdotal things, and these are not things which are evidence-based. And in India, this tends to happen a lot. Because our people, most of the people here are still quite blind as far as knowledge regarding such stuff is concerned. People are just, they're more prone to spread wild rumors. They love doing that. You know, if something starts out like this, it'll end up being like this. So in India, this is a big problem, I tell you. So the important thing is that we as healthcare professionals, we keep talking. And also you as media people, you also keep talking and keep removing the bias from people's minds and give them the courage that please go out and vaccinate yourselves and your kids.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, ma'am, is Apollo Hospitals Guwahati also rolling out COVID vaccination?
Oh,
for
yes,
children?
yes. Since 3rd January, we have been. The only thing is that it is not being done at the main Apollo building. Buildwell building, yeah, that is where they're administering it. It's available for a price, of course, because it's a private setup. We have been vaccinating right from the beginning, yes. For vaccination, all kids, any child who was born in 2007 or earlier. I mean, there are some schools I know which have come out with notices to parents that the child has to complete 15 years of age. It is not that. The child needs to be in the 15th year of life. So any child who is born in 2007 or earlier is eligible for this vaccine. And so kindly, wherever you can, to our facility, to a government facility, the thing is we want to achieve 100% vaccination, and looking at the enthusiasm of the adolescents, I must say, we are not very far. With the adults, I don't know, but the adolescents seem to be very enthusiastic. Yes. So I'm very hopeful. For young India, I'm very hopeful.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am, for this very insightful conversation.
Thank you so much.
I hope we all delivered the message very nicely. And request you all the parents to get their children to Apollo Hospitals Guwahati to vaccinate their children so that they can be safe from the pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you so much.